In today's session on the mind of faith, we go back to where the arrow has been made. The archer has searched all the fields for all the components. He's tested his arrow. He's now ready to go. The arrow he has will accomplish the task. It will not stray from the aim. It will go directly to the mark. Oh, that path of the arrow will fly true and straight, and in it lies life or death. Life to the bushman, death most certainly to the hunted. Does any one of us not think that our words are not as important? Many believers do not attribute the words of their lips as to the careful choice of the archer. These do not see the trips to the reeds to choose the shaft. These shafts are the attitudes of the mind. In the unrenewed mind of faith, there are deep roots of bitterness, hatred, strife, wounded spirits that are carefully chosen and placed within. These are memories of past experiences and days of failure. They are those things which the believer says will never happen to them again. They are lessons learned, stones laid, and houses that are built in the mind. And these strong reeds will carry one day the words of power to its target. No one likens the stones of the heart as to the stones of the dry riverbed, but they are the same. Life has worn and shaped these into arrowheads of heartaches and the pains of life. There is the shortness of temper, the quickness, the heavily opinionated and distrustful soul that comes from years of flowing river water and the grinding of sand against the soul. Youthful struggles bring about terrific torrents of swirling water that shape future projections of thought. Harms have been done, hatreds have been focused, and abusive actions grind themselves against these stones that will one day be attached to shafts and projected from the lips. No one sees this breeding of the soul as the manufacturing of the arrow. No one sees the path of the spoken word. No one sees how long they live, how long they fly, and the deep result of the striking of the target. Which believer, you or I, takes the time to test their own words? Which believer, you or I, guards his tongue against the statements of the quiver of the mind? The mind of faith falls sickly and succumbs to the unrighteousness of the lips. And then, when the battle is hot and heavy and praise shows itself, the believer often hastily lets fly from the lips valleys and volleys of arrows designed to justify or protect the position taken. Most use these hastily formed arrows to climb the social ladder, to procure prosperity, and they call it just getting ahead. And there's a lot of injury that's done to personalities without thought, and they call it just discussing a thing. Others gather with friends and send hails of arrows toward friends and acquaintances and call it just talking among ourselves. Some hide secret sin and call it nobody is perfect, are they? But millions flirt with open sin and call it everybody's doing it, aren't they? I want to take a moment right now and say a prayer for you, because I believe that you can release this from your heart. I believe that by believing on Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, by obeying His Word, by taking His blood upon you, you can be cleansed and born again, and all of yesterday's hurts can go away from you. And when that day of trouble comes, you won't have any words to grab and throw and to hurt each other with. Let me pray for you. Father, I ask you for these that are listening right now and watching. I want them to find freedom in you. Release me and release them from that warehouse of arrowheads that lay deep in our souls. We forgive others. We ask you to forgive us. And we ask you that as we go forward today, our strength will be in the success of the mind of faith as we use proper wording. God bless you. We'll see you again.